Hello and welcome. I'm Jamie Mogil, President of the League of Women Voters of Lower Merion and Narberth. I'm honored to be serving as host for the interviews of the candidates for judge of the Delaware County Court of Common Pleas for the 2025 general election. The League is committed to creating nonpartisan voter education that helps you, the public, be better informed, irrespective of party or candidate affiliation. As the League is a nonpartisan organization, we neither support nor oppose any candidate or party. The Court of Common Pleas is the main judicial body for the county handling a variety of significant matters, including major civil and criminal trials. PA is just one of a handful of states where we elect our judges from the state level down to the local county level in partisan elections. Specifically, there are candidates running to fill two vacancies, so two seats, for the Delaware County Court of Common Pleas. After a 10-year term, the judge can run for retention, which is the voter saying yes or no to the judge staying on the bench. Those are separate questions, so make sure to look for that on your ballot. But here we're focusing on the interviews of the candidates running to actually get on the court. Just a quick overview of the format for you. The candidates will have 2 minutes for an opening statement to introduce themselves, a bit about their background, and why they're running for judge. I'll then ask the questions, and the candidate will have 90 seconds to respond. There is a timer to assist the candidate and myself in making sure we stay within the allotted times and have a nice flow to the presentation. At the end of the questioning, I'll prompt the candidate for their closing statement, which they'll have up to 2 minutes to do. Then I'll do a quick wrap up to say thank you. But without further ado, I'd like to ask the candidate to please introduce themselves and give their opening statement.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Mike Power, and I am a candidate this year for the judge of the Court of Common Pleas of Delaware County. And I'm very excited to be a part of this program. Thank you very much. Let me give you a little bit of my background and why I'm running. I'm originally from Tennessee, went to college in Atlanta, met my wife, moved to Philadelphia, went to Temple University Law School. And over 30 years ago, moved to Delaware County. I'm a resident of Thornberry Township. At about the same time, I created my own law firm, Power and Associates. When I first started practicing law, I did primarily insurance defense work, medical malpractice defense work. And what I did is I started my own law firm focusing on consumer law, consumer rights, victims of scams, consumers who were sold defective products, unsafe products. And what that's done, it's given me the opportunity to practice really throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and throughout New Jersey. I've literally tried cases and handled matters throughout both states. It's given me the opportunity to see really the best and the worst of court systems and frankly judges in both states. And I see some court systems that have really great features and some that don't. And one thing I've noticed of Delaware County is often cases go to linger in Delaware County. I would like to bring some of this experience I have to help with the other judges try to implement changes in local rules to make the process faster for clients like I have, who often when justice is delayed, justice is denied. I'd like to bring those changes to the court to the extent that I can, changing the local rules with the other judges. And to the extent I can't do that, at least incorporate those changes into my courtroom. I've been around the county now, been on this process for almost 2 years. And what I've really come to learn by meeting people throughout the county is how much I didn't know. And that's probably the most important thing moving forward is I have a realization of how much I don't know and how much I have to listen.
Thank you. Now we'll get right into the questions to learn more about you. What qualities do you have that you believe will make you a good judge?
I think probably with the type of practice that I've had representing consumers against major corporations, I really have I've developed over the years a fine sense of patience, I think. Again, I think the key to being a judge is to listen to the parties, Let them make their arguments, let them make their cases, and then you make the decision. But representing these consumers, I really see sort of the everyday struggles that my clients have. I mean, I have some clients certainly that are very well off, and represent them in cases involving Porsches. But more often, it's people, it's working people that either they buy a defective vehicle, they can't get to work, they can't get their kids to school, and this has really sensitized me to really the struggles I think that many people have in everyday life, just trying to make a living, trying to support their family, and trying to essentially do the best they can under sometimes overwhelming odds.
Next, we are hoping you can describe your present and past community activities and how these activities will influence the kind of judge you will be if elected.
Probably the most rewarding thing that I've done in terms of community is working with. I have three kids, and both my sons were Boy Scouts, and it was a great honor to participate in their scouting experiences, and the going to Philmont, going to high adventure trips in the Caribbean on sailboats. Those types of things have been really very, very rewarding. I've been involved with historical societies in the county, and I've also been involved for many years. This is the first time I've run for office, but I've been involved literally in politics for a long time behind the scenes, and this has been very rewarding for me. We've made great progress. I'm running as a Democrat, and we've made great progress in this county in terms of our engagement with the population, and in terms of really turning this county around from our perspective. And doing those things that I've done with the Delaware County Democratic Committee, I think has been extremely rewarding. Most rewarding is helping to create and run the Delco Victory campaigns, where we've been able to elect countywide Democratic candidates in the county in the past. So all of these together, I think, have brought me very close to the community, and especially my practice, seeing again the everyday struggles that people have, just moving forward, making a living in modern day society.
What will you do, both on and off the bench, to ensure that all individuals have equal access to the courts?
Well, on the bench, probably one of the most problematic situations that judges run into is when you have a pro se client, a client that's not represented by counsel, and this creates a lot of sometimes difficulties. But I think the key is you have to make adjustments, you have to make accommodations to make sure that those individuals have the opportunity to state their case, to make their case. Um, Guidance in terms of procedure, certainly not in terms of substantive law, but I think that's a key factor. And again, the overall temperament that I think that I would bring to the court. I've learned to listen. And again, walking around the county as I've done in the last 2 years, in essentially every municipality in Delaware County, and hearing the concerns that people have, concerns about the nation, concerns about the state, concerns about the county, and sometimes just general concerns. And again, I so many things that I didn't know, concerns around the county that I didn't know before that I do now. So certainly being able to listen to the litigants and let them make their case. But also, as a judge, you're not foreclosed from dealing with, for instance, state legislators, in terms of making meaningful dialogue and trying to make changes in not only procedural but substantive law as well. And I would love that type of engagement to certainly in terms of criminal law, thinking of alternative, ways of disposing of criminal cases, not putting them in jail, but trying to have help for these individuals to move on and be a meaningful, a role in society.
And if elected, what will you do to maintain your independence as a judge?
Well, that's a great question. And the bottom line is when you are elected judge and you enter into that courthouse, you step across the steps, into the threshold. Uh, the oath you take is to be independent, is to again follow the law, follow the Constitution of Pennsylvania, follow the Constitution of the United States, and that's an oath that I take very, very seriously. All attorneys obviously take an oath when they become attorneys. Judges take an oath when they become judge. And I think in our modern uh, discourse, I think sometimes that is forgotten, the importance of the oath. So I will follow that oath, and I will be independent. I will not be a Republican or a Democrat on the court. I will be the judge, and I will be totally divorced from those thoughts. And again, hear the evidence, make decisions based upon what's presented in front of me.
Thanks. And now our next question is more narrow about, what do you think are the most pressing needs of our criminal justice system, and what can you do as a judge to address them if elected?
I think one of the issues, and it goes beyond the criminal division, but I think we need more resources in the courtroom, in the courthouse. Um, we have situations where literally in Delaware County, courtrooms aren't available sometimes for judges, and this has to change. Those types of resources have to be put into place through the county. But again, going back to this issue of having a dialogue with representatives, elected representatives, in terms of having meaningful change. And I'll be, I'm running with Jack Stolzheimer, the district attorney, and I'm very proud of that. And I very much follow and support Jack's changes that he's made in terms of alternative disposition of criminal cases. The old theory of lock them up, that's I think disappearing in Delaware County, very much thanks to Jack. And I will continue to support those types of changes and those types of case dispositions where you don't incarcerate folks unless it's absolutely necessary. You give them what they need to become, again, productive members of society moving forward.
Okay. And this kind of gets to that if you wanted to expand, because overall, the Delaware County court system covers many vital areas, such as family and juvenile matters, and has a budget of nearly $60 million. Do you think there are improvements that could be made to the court system? And if so, what are they, and how can you address them if elected as judge?
Two things I'd point out in that, and that is my career has been in civil law. But I speak to attorneys that do primarily family law often, and hearing really the terrible situations where you go into on days where they have PDA hearings, and there'll be 120 hearings listed on the docket, and they're all listed at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you have a courtroom full of people that frankly sometimes are fearful of other people in the courtroom. And that's a terrible situation. And certainly no one that's coming to the court for relief should be faced with that. A very common sense way to help deal with that is to have different schedules during the day: 9 o'clock hearings, 11 o'clock hearings, a 2 o'clock hearing list. I think that would alleviate many of the concerns and frankly save a lot of individuals and a lot of attorneys a lot of time. In terms of civil law, again, there are, and I practice a lot in New Jersey, in Philadelphia, and literally when a motion is filed in New Jersey, 17 days out, you can file the motion. The response date is 8 days before the return date of the motion. 17 days generally after that motion is filed, you have an order in hand. This moves cases, whether it helps you or it doesn't help you, it gives you an idea of what's moving forward and it helps those cases move forward. And the same, for instance, even in Philadelphia, where motions are heard quickly, and that helps everybody.
Well, thanks. I can't believe we flew by. It was very interesting, and thank you for your time. And now I'm going to turn it over to you to give us your closing statement. You do have 2 minutes, so I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. And again, I can't tell you how proud I am to be running for this office. The I think the combination of my practice, which is representing individuals, again, often individuals that are in distress, that are in need of really fast legal remedy, has highlighted to me the importance of listening to the litigants, but also moving cases along. I've representing individuals against major corporations for many years. I think I have a pretty good idea of what's a substantive, good faith motion to throw a case out, to preclude evidence, but also I have a very good idea of what is just nonsense. And I'd like to cut through that as a judge, uh, and allow these cases to move forward, be fair to all, but understand that, at some point you recognize what's not a good faith argument in court and try to cut that out. Um, the Again, the most important thing that I've realized during this journey of mine is talking to folks throughout this county and realizing how much I didn't know before. When you run for office, sometimes I think you have a big head. You really do. You think you know a lot, and it's been a very sobering experience for me to hear people tell me about their concerns and to realize how much I did not know. And I think as a judge, the temperament that I would bring to the court, the ability to recognize that, to listen to people, and to allow myself to be educated by by the litigants, by the witnesses, I think is a key factor to being a responsible and effective judge. And that's what I bring to the court. When I cross that threshold, I'm not going to give up my values. I'll bring those into the courthouse. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much. And I just want to say on behalf of myself and the League of Women Voters of Delaware County, an interleague organization that is made up of both the Central Delaware County and Radnor Leagues. Thank you for your time and for running for this important position. And to our viewers, thank you as well. You can view this video if you're watching it, as well as the others of the candidates. Please go to the Central Delaware County League's website, but also check our vote411.org, the league's one-stop shop for all the voting information you need. If you're watching this, probably don't need to remind you to check your registration, but it never hurts. You want to be sure. And the all important November 4th, Election Day, you can get information on vote by mail and your polling place if you do want to go in person. And thank you. And please consider joining us at the League. We always need more people. We're better together to make democracy work. Thanks again.